What's up, gamers and developers? Welcome to Fungi's YouTube channel, where I cover everything from gaming, game development to interviews with our customers and partners. Today, I'm going to talk about the current state of Steam distribution, how the game publishing landscape has changed, and how you can start selling games with your own web shop. Before you start watching my presentation today, please remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Now, let's get started. Hi everyone, this is Duke here and I'm the CEO and founder of Fungi's. Today we're going to talk about breaking through distribution, how to sell the games directly to your players. Now let's get started. So first of all, just wanted to start with my personal background. I was born in Vietnam and moved to Poland for about 30 years now. And here are the big game studios that are present in Poland. Huge Games, CD Projekt, 10 Square Games. You might know them. And so Poland is one of the pioneers in terms of game development, especially AAA titles. I myself, I have a background in data science. I've done analysis on 50 million plus customers for Payback, a loyalty scheme company. I've done tons of marketing segmentation, like personalized offers for all those customers in the program, as well as customer analytics for larger brands such as BP, Real, or other brands in the same portfolio. So I have an extensive e-commerce experience, having spent nearly $10 million, generated more than $200,000 in sales in my own company called GameDays.sk. It was a marketplace for up-and-coming brands. And I just have extensive experience creating brands, scale sales, and optimize customer acquisition costs as well as LTV. So with Fungi's, we launched in February 2023 with now nearly $100,000 in sales generated through our platform for all the studios. We have more than now 7,000 customers who have signed up for our platform, and there are more than 150 games on sales with 250 studios, big and small, in our pipeline that are going to join or are joining our platform. So what's happening now with the game distribution? So as you can see, majority of Steam indie games are not making money. So flash news, the median for all those new games entering the market is $1,570 made per year. On average, that's way higher than that. There's around $700,000 generated through sales, but that's because it's way skewed towards the top 1%, making more than $8.5 million per year. And if you look at the number of games being released, there's more than 1,200 games per month being released. And so it is really hard to stand out. The average price for indie games is less than $10. There's a huge skewed distribution towards a smaller number of studios, especially AAA studios or AA studios. And so if you look at the Steam market, there's 1,200 games being released every month. There's a total of 50,000, 60,000 games on Steam right now. But if you compare mobile games, that's even greater than that. There's around 477,000 games that were released in Q4 only 2022, and nearly 300,000 games on the App Store that were released in Q4 2022. And with the changing landscape of regulations, we're going to see also more freedom for game developers or publishers to choose their payment providers. It is something called Digital Markets Act, and it's going to happen, and it will have its power be on from March 2023. So they are called gatekeepers. Google Play, App Store, Apple, Google, they all are called gatekeepers. And what it does in essence is that it will allow mobile game publishers and developers to choose whatever the payment system they would like to integrate. They can redirect the players and the users inside the app to the web stores and monetize there. And 3, they will allow third-party browsers inside the apps as well. So what's the timeline? So there was a notification to the whole market in July 2023. The designation of gatekeepers means the definition who would fall into the category of gatekeepers. And for sure, those are Apple and Google with their dominance and monopoly in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Stores. So the deadline to comply is March 2024. And it will be inevitable for the gaming market to adopt new payment providers and payment methods inside the games to reduce the commission from 30% to whatever the percent for the payment processing provider. And there's an ongoing revolution in terms of AI, generating 3D assets, 3D audio files, AI NPCs, and we're going to see games being developed in a shorter time frame. So all of those forces coming together, they will provide major shifts in the gaming landscape. Number one, that's a growing number of games being released. Number two, the legal framework for self-distribution is there, especially in Europe with Digital Markets Act. And hopefully the US, Canada, and Asia will follow through also with their legislation similar to Europe. And 3, the time to market is shortening thanks to AI. So the key takeaways here are that there's going to be more games, and so your unique distribution, how you reach players, will determine how successful financially your game will be. Second, there's going to be more freedom in terms of choosing the payment providers, and there's going to be there should be embedded a direct-to-player strategy for your game. And what's even going to be more important is the role of efficient marketing or performance marketing. So why self-distribution matters? If you look at the calculation on the left, if your game is potentially generating $1.5 million per year, then you would have end up with a Steam cut of around $220,000. That's not bad for doing nothing. I mean, for, of course, building the marketplace, but no, 30% is huge. And with ongoing layoffs in the game industry, that would mean that game developers and publishers will have to find ways to sell directly to the players, building DTC, direct-to-consumer platforms, or DTP, or direct-to-players platforms. So why self-distribution matters? There's a huge competition. There's an ongoing increasing number of games being published on the market. So that means lower sales for you. And those platforms, I'm talking about Steam, I'm talking about Apple Store, Play Store, they're going to take 30%. And that would cut into your profitability for the company. And with obviously IDFA and limited user acquisition capabilities inside app stores, and Steam limiting the player data visibility, such as emails or less their user behavior throughout the platform, means that it is of paramount importance that you have to think about how to sell directly to your players. So the current state of Steam distribution is that there's 132 million users of monthly active users on Steam, and that's the highest number of active users when you compare to other platforms such as PlayStation or Xbox Store or even Epic Game Store. But compared to major social media platforms out there such as Facebook, YouTube, having 2.5, 3 billion people on those platforms, it is a tiny space where you could advertise your game. And with Google's dominance in search engine optimization, means that you are realistically targeting a very small amount of people inside those marketplaces, either app stores or Steam. So there's a huge area where you could potentially use your user acquisition marketing budget outside of those marketplaces. And really, I mean, Steam is tiny compared to the whole vast ocean or universe of players or users in social media channels. There was a talk at GDC about there was a survey done among more than 130 indie game studios, and there were three things that drive your sales. One is the store features, the Steam store features. Sales meaning discounts, like how much percent you're gonna give up to in order to drive the turnover or volume of the games, and of course websites, blogs, or news, blogs, articles that all drive sales for your game. And now, if you look at Steam placements, there's not much personalization going on Steam, and so the main banner, obviously, it is curated by the Steam team, and then you have featured and recommended, and this is the place where it could potentially affect your sales the most. The way it is presented is that once a player plays a certain game, they will present here games that are in the same category of tags, like free-to-play, open world, co-op, strategy. So it is really important, if you are having a Steam page, to tag your game correctly, because it will show here to all the players out there in their personalized, featured, and recommended feed. With special offers, we are seeing discounts. This is the number 2 reason why your game would sell, is depending on how steep your discount is, it will be shown here. I guess it is more than 40% discounts for games that will be presented here in the special offers section. And then you have here Steam Deck ad, which is obviously curated by the Steam team. Categories also curated. Top new releases. If your game is live, it is selling and selling well, then it will be presented here. Your discovery queue is also something very important. It is based on players' behavior or past purchases. So your game could be potentially presented here. Recommended based on the games you play, obviously algorithmically generated, and depends on what games the player has played before. New and trending. If your game is in early access, you will not be presented here. But once it is released and selling well, it will be shown here. And so there's this YouTube video from the Steamworks team itself, debunking the myths about wishlist or store page traffic. So in essence, your store page traffic does not affect how you're going to be shown throughout Steam. And so impressions, people visiting your Steam page, they do not affect how your game will be shown throughout the Steam marketplace. Review scores also does not play a role in how you are presented in the whole Steam marketplace. With an asterisk means that if you have the majority of scores being negative, then it won't be shown. Wishlist, and this is the greatest myth, wishlist does not grant you visibility on Steam. So the more wishlist does not mean that you will be shown more often than other games. In fact, there are a lot of wishlisted games which end up being buried somewhere in the Steam algorithm. How does wishlist work? So wishlist is just like an email subscription for the player. So once the player clicks that wishlist button, he or she will get updates on your game when it's going to be released. And so it is nothing other than an email list which you don't control. So it is only when you make your game live, then it will be an email will be sent to the users saying that your game is live, and then you can access the game. And so wishlist does not play a major role in how your Steam page is visible throughout the marketplace. Early access also is not a factor in Steam visibility. And last but not least, localization does play a major role. So the more languages your game has, the more it will show in appropriate countries and appropriate users or players throughout the world. And as Steam itself have stated, launching a store is and praying for some kind of traffic or sales is not the best plan, and it is not a marketing plan for sure. So there are a lot of other ways to actively promote your game sales: Discord forums, social media, press, and influencers. And this is, by the way, the slide that was made by Steam itself. Paid marketing is one of the major driving forces of your game sales. Do you have to pray to Steam, let's say, randomness or visibility to drive sales? Absolutely not. You should take control over how you sell your game. And is wishlist a king of distribution where everyone is running through after the number of wishlists? Absolutely not. It is simply a mailing list, and you can do that as well on your website. So you can bring the traffic, you can control those users, you can control their data, and your website could well be a wishlist place. And only 20% of wishlists convert to actual purchase. Doesn't drive visibility on Steam, and it is in line with some of the conversion rate on e-commerce businesses. At the end, when you do have wishlists on Steam, you don't own the data. You don't see all the users. You don't see their emails. You can't upsell or cross-sell other games. And if you are a studio or publisher with more games coming into the pipeline, then that's a lot of risk, having to solely focus on wishlisting. And so with everything, even with wishlists, you have to be careful. You have to think about, as a funnel, you bring as many people to the Steam store page. It does not guarantee visibility throughout the Steam's marketplace. And then you have some cutoffs between the steps that the player, and ultimately on the long way journey of the player decision to buy the game. So when you self-distribute, you own the data. It is your data, and you can see how often or how high the purchases are. So your website essentially is your store where you can sell the games, you can sell in-app game purchases. And if you look at Supercell, for example, they are hugely successful studio with Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, Brawl Stars, and they are too suffering from the declining, daily active users, monthly active users, and declining average revenue per daily active user or per active user. So building the web store is a major way to diversify and to cut the commission separate from all those marketplaces. Building your web store means that you can sell those in-game items directly to the players, saving you tons of commission. And with the ongoing onslaught of firing in the game industry, this is where the industry should go or is going. Baldur's Gate is a great example of a really great website, but it still lacks the commerce functions on that, meaning that when you go to the web store and the website, you search for the Baldur's Gate game, why are you redirecting to Steam or PS5 or GOG? You should sell the game directly to the players. If they're already coming organically through Google search to your website, as a studio publisher, you should sell the game directly to them on the web store. And Scopely has already understood that. They've been launching a lot of game stores, especially for their game Star Trek Fleet Command, which through which you can buy the in-game items through the web store and then receive those items in the game. Techland already has their own web store where they are selling the games directly to the players. You can just check it out at store.techland.com. You can buy all the DLCs and the games themselves directly on the web stores. Blizzard has been doing that for years now. They've been selling through their own launcher, through their own web store, thus saving a great amount of commission from marketplaces. And so we at Fungis, we have built this whole tool for you to build your own web store with easy to use, seamless website creator, and then you can upload also the game keys, being Steam game keys, Epic Games keys, or what we're gonna do in the very near future is to allow you to have your own custom launcher, your own merch store, your own analytics, your own database management tool to upsell and cross-sell to your players, and then also to integrate other apps onto the app store. I'm talking about web chat, chatbots, Zapier, other tools which will allow you to more efficiently control and upsell to your existing player base. So what is important to include on your website? So first of all, the title, logo, the trailers, the screenshot, but it is important also to sell the game directly to the web store. Product page and checkout process means that are embedded into our tool, means that it will allow you to sell directly to the players. Other than that, a simple but clear elevator pitch of what is your game about, really simple 1, 2, 3 features of the game, and the genre is super important. You have to give the player the information about what genre it is, either through text or the gallery, which clearly shows the gameplay inside the game and what your game is. System requirements, press packet, a store link, or a download or buy button, which is really important. You can embed the buy button directly on your website and which allows you to sell the game directly to the players. Some review blurbs, of course, links to related social media channels, and some contact info. Mailing list subscription, super important thing. It acts as a wish list, so do have that on your website. We're gonna implement it soon at Fungis. It will just work like wish list. So once you launch the game, you have any event, you have any discounts that you want to communicate to your existing player base, do have that email subscription input field on your website as well. So there are also a number of don'ts. So don't do a blog. I mean, you're making the game and you should not focus on writing some news or articles on the blog or forum. There's a lot of work with that, with all the spammers and and community management. Personally, I don't think that it is a good way to spend your time. If you are spending your time building the game, then just focus on that. And having said that, pre-alpha, work in progress images or videos are not welcome. It is relevant to communicate the progress to your players, but you can do it in other ways, such as having a roadmap on your website. Anything that you don't own, do not include that on your website. Anything that might be not suitable for minors, don't do that. Nothing immediately annoying, no crazy audios or flashing images, and please no runs. Keep it for yourself. One of the most important pages on your web store, if you're gonna include the commerce aspects or features onto the website, the product page would probably direct 80% of your traffic from organic searches or from your website. So have a very clear photo and video. We have done a design of the product page from our tool at Fungies, so that you don't have to think about the design itself. Just put in the trailer links, the gallery photos, and it will present beautifully on your web store. Having said that, having a clear CTA, a buy now button, photos, description, shareable socials, it is all included in our tool as well, and it should be included in your web store. Reviews are really important for search engine optimization and how your web store or website will be visible in organic search from Google. Do include system requirements, and of course that sweet subscribe email input field. The second most important part of your web store or your e-commerce site selling game is the checkout process. At the first step, you could present other games from your portfolio. You should present some trust badges, such as easy and secure payments or trust pilot reviews. Do include some promo codes and no redirects. If you have a checkout that is embeddable and everything happens on the website or in the checkout process itself, that the user is not redirected to third-party payment providers, then it is will drive much better conversion. So let's look at an example of a Steam game like Burgers Games. They had 1.5 million impressions of their game throughout the Steam's store, and the click-through rate was just 0.18%, which translated to 2,677 visits on the store Steam page. And if you deduct the bots, then you would have actual visits of 2,000 people. Obviously, they haven't spent that much on marketing, but having 1.5 million impression and just 2,000 actual store visits is pretty sad. And if you do spend a little bit of money, say around $3,000 on Google Ads, for example, with nearly the same amount of impression, 1.3 million impressions, you would have a click-through rate of around 4%, and that would drive around 50,000 people to your website or web store. It doesn't make that much difference if they're gonna go to the Steam page or they're gonna come to the website. In both cases, you will have to convert them to actual buyers. And with your website, it's just gonna be much easier. And I think this is just money well spent, driving 50,000 people, having 50,000 people see your game. And if we assume that there's just gonna be like 2% conversion rate on your website, that would mean 1,000 units sold. And if you set the price at $20 per sale, then you would easily have $20,000 of revenue, in which case you gotta keep most of the profits because that's your own web store. And so when you launch on Steam, Obviously, I'm not saying to not launch on Steam. I'm saying launch your web store on top of Steam, to allow people that have come organically through a Google search traffic to your website, you could sell them directly and not having to redirect to Steam again. Right. So once you launch the web store and the website, be mindful of customer acquisition costs, of average order value, and of course of repeat purchases. If you are a bigger game studio or publisher, obviously it's going to be way easier to upsell your other titles as well. And let's move to performance marketing. What are the tools out there that will allow you to advertise efficiently to your player base? So we have SEO, search engine optimization. We have Twitter ads, we have Twitch ads, we have Google ads, Facebook ads, Reddit, TikToks. There's a lot out there. And let me just summarize all the conversion rates, day 7 retention, and the quality of those social medias. So SEO, it is super important for you to accurately rank your website in search engine of the Google search engine. That would mean to have correctly implemented sitemap, search console, Google Merchant Center. It is super important to upload all your games to the Google Merchant Center so that your game will be visible as a snippet, like with a picture and the game's name beneath just a Google search bar when you access the search results. Obviously, on-site and off-site and technical SEO. And by the way, all these options about SEO will be provided out of the box through our website builder tool. So let's take an example of Sea of Stars. If someone types in Sea of Stars in Google, their Steam page is on the first place. Their website is on the second page. But look at the amount of people coming to their website every month. That's nearly 300,000 people visiting the website, and that could well means a place where you could efficiently, actively sell the game directly to the players, and you don't have to spend a dime. I mean, you have spent probably large amount of effort through customer acquisition on social medias, actively engaging communities through years or months of collaboration, and actively communicating with them. And now, once those people come to your websites, nearly 300,000 of them, you should sell those games directly to the players. And by the way, I should mention that Steam does allow you to distribute your Steam keys directly to players. Just look around YouTube, type in Steam game keys, then you will have the official standing and interpretation of how to distribute your own Steam game keys. And so if you look at Sea of Stars, for example, the organic traffic, 60% of the website traffic is coming from Google search organic traffic. So it is super important for a website to rank high in Google searches. And once you are ranked high, you can get that traffic, and then you can monetize selling the games directly to the players. If you look at Google Ads, it is by far the widest a platform with the widest reach, and also one of the cheapest. I'm talking about YouTube, Gmail, other affiliate sites that they have partnered with, CNN, all the websites in every corner of the world has Google advertising banners on their website. And so it is a massive amount of reach. And among games, the 7-day retention from Google Ad is around 30%. Do remember to use Google Merchant Center to effectively show your game under search results. And it is one of the highest conversion channels in terms of video ads. That's 7% conversion rate. I'm talking about YouTube. And so if you want to reach a huge number of players and users, do use Google Ads. Twitch Ads has the highest 7-day retention, 44%. So it is a highly engaging channel where I guess the most engaged players would go there and research or having a look at games. The aggregate conversion rate, both for free-to-play or premium games, is 5.5%. Facebook ad, it is highly targeted and personalized, and also they offer playable ads, so more engagement on your ads. 7-day retention is at 32.5%, 3.5% average conversion rate. Do remember to include the Facebook pixel on your website. We will have that working out of the box on our Fungies platform, and do have identity matching. You can have Google's data sent to Facebook, and then for example, if someone has visited your web store or website, you can retarget them, showing your games ad through their newsfeed or in their messages as well. Twitter ads has the highest conversion rate on any platform, so it is highly effective platform to sell games. And the F2P free-to-play conversion rate is stunning 9%. So if you so take Twitter seriously. That's all I'm gonna say. TikTok ads, it has a wide reach for Gen Z, but low conversion. So we're talking about 1.9% average conversion. The premium conversion is 1.9%. Free to play is 0.45%. 7-day retention is 36%. But it has great exposure to the Gen Z. Reddit ads, very efficient platform. Here's an example of example campaign that we have done. More than $1,000 spent and nearly 2.2 million impressions with around 6,000 clicks. So, if you get 6,000 Steam Store visits, that would mean that across Steam you would have to have 2-3 million impressions of your game. So that's a huge number for a mere amount of $1,000. Remember to measure everything. To return on ad spend have to be measured. Do it by per campaign, per channel. And it is essential to pull all the ad information on all those channels into one dashboard. We're going to have that on Fungies app as well, so that you can control every performance marketing channel out there and having a larger picture directly on your own web store dashboard. So thank you for your attention, and I welcome you to our future webinars and tutorials. Thank you very much.